welcome back. All right, let's go ahead and dive in and see what Divine Holy Spirit has for the collective. The cards are all upright and in order by way of major arcana and through each element. I hope y'all are doing well and fabulous. Divine Holy Spirit of the highest white light consciousness, what do you have for the collective? What is collective, need to know and be made aware of? I have some air on my stomach, y'all. Forgive me. Whew. Here we go, y'all. All right, I heard elements, elemental. I was just shown like a little fairy figure, whether it be, a cartoonish or those that really believe in fairies, just the energy of that with the elemental. And what else is there? Who is the little fairy with the green outfit on? Was that with Pinocchio, the movie Pinocchio? I'm almost sure. I'm not a Disney fan or fanatic like that, so I couldn't tell you their name and what movie, but that's what I was being shown. But also, it was like a real energy surrounding that, even though it was like a cartoon. So, all right, y'all. So Pinocchio could have something to do with this. I'm hearing something about the masters at play. Maybe the things being revealed that, yes, elementals and fairies are real. And yes, the whole mastering of the puppeteer of Pinocchio, those are real as well. We don't always see those, or I'm hearing the word supernatural. So okay. So how this is coming to me, y'all. The fairy energy that was in Pinocchio is real, but a lot of people don't believe. But then also the master puppeteering is real. And both of these are supernatural events or abilities or people or the supernatural energy. Both are real, is what I'm being told. But it's like people who don't believe in fairies, they don't believe in the puppeteering, and then vice versa. But they're both like elemental. So we got it, y'all, right? Okay, that was a lot for the channel energy, but where are we headed here? I'm hearing there's a breakdown, like a complete breakdown. But I feel like it has everything to do with limiting beliefs. And those, like I heard full throttle just now. So I'm hearing repelling agents. So maybe there's some sort of activity in the supernatural that's causing people to, I'm hearing the word further. So causing them to further not believe. So that's quite the contrary for the supernatural community, or the spiritual community, I should have said, but supernatural came out. Because we are aware of these things, these instances, how these energies come and they inhabit physical vessels by way of people on the 3D that affect us. Our loved ones, the people around us, the people that we're supposed to be working together and with, to try to move the collective forward. But, at the end of the day, these people are agents. At the end of the day, these vessels have been taken over. Wow. I mean, that's no surprise to us who are working in the supernatural spiritual field. Like, we know of this. So that means that there is more of a awakening on the rise here. Or maybe this is what we're headed into by way of, the planetary involvements and just things taking place, like Age of Aquarius, even like all of this stuff just coming into play. So the fact that people are opening their eyes to maybe the movies that they love watching, growing up, that there's a lot of supernatural things that are manifesting in the physical, but they've always been there. It's only that they're now opening their spiritual eyes to see and be made aware of these things. So that tells me that the forces, the powers, that puppeteering of Pinocchio, whatever that is, those are also aware and increasing. So this all has to do, this energy that's being channeled is with supernatural presence. For me, it's what's sticking out is the awareness of it. I heard plain Jane. plain Jane in existence. And I've heard normalizing just now. So there is something else. Sorry, y'all. The reason I had air on my stomach because I was flooding out my place with a cleansing. So it's a lot going on in here. And then this incense is coming through. So y'all forgive me in advance. Whew. There's a lot of powers. I have to include supernatural powers in play. But this is giving me left hand energy because it was like at play, and then that occurred with my hand. So that's left hand energy. So those powers, supernatural, are at play. I'm hearing heavily at play, y'all. All right, let's get some cards out. Okay. Okay. All right, y'all, that's it. That must have been what I needed. There's a card that flew out on the floor. I don't know if y'all can see these. I'm going to slide these down, so hopefully they're in the frame. You can see. Let's see what flew out on the floor, y'all. Because the powers that be possibly wanted me to stop at that shuffle, but Holy Spirit said one more time, 2 more times. Just wait till whatever comes out when it comes out, and I did. And these two fell out on the floor. So we have the Ace of Cups, and then we have the 8 of Wands reversed. So this is, I feel like we should go into this before we even get to the bottom of the deck, but I feel like the powers that be, or the powers at play, that's all I'm hearing. So this is an awakening here with the Ace of Cups. It fell on the floor, y'all. So that goes into the energy we just got through receiving, the channeling. We were talking about this awakening with people understanding that, man, yeah, there are some things occurring around me, my family, my livelihood, my lifestyle, my dwelling, my job. There are some things that are occurring that are out of people's control. Whereas once upon a time, they were under the illusion, but all of that is dropped. It's gone. Those illusions are gone. And hopefully the ones that were able to escape the illusions, I heard mastermind just now. So hopefully the ones who are able to escape the illusions, they're going to keep riding with this newfound awakening of beliefs that now they believe. Because they have no other way of proving what has occurred is occurring. But it fell out on the floor, Ace of Cups. And then behind that, what fell was the Ace of Wands reversed. This, even me saying reverse, is giving like reversal. Like slow moving process with the 8 of Wands reversed. They didn't want this to happen. It's on the floor, y'all. So that further confirms for me that supernatural. I heard escapade just now, like they're having a whirlwind of an event of a time right now playing in people's faces when it comes to that puppeteering. I heard gassing you up even. The gassing up effect, what is that? That's how I just heard it after the fact, gassing up effect. What is that, Spirit? Gassing up. All right, so I'm being told to, I wasn't even looking at the table, but I'm being told just to usher forward to the bottom of the deck energy. So we're going to receive what it is that we need to hear, y'all. So we have the Ace of Swords in the reverse. Look at that, y'all, period. I could just say period after that. If you know, you know. That Ace of Swords reverse means, no, they don't want you to wake up. They don't want you to explore the possibilities of the underhanded things that have been done to try to manipulate you and mentally control you and bind you and block you and keep you stagnated and stuck. They don't want you to have that. Remind you, I don't know where that remind you comes from. I know where it comes from. There's this guy, he's an astrologer, and I first started watching him on YouTube, and I can't think of his name, but he throws up all these signs before he talks. He wears these really cool hats. I can't think of his name. I haven't seen him in a minute, but he will always say, remind you, like, what? So I guess I'm paying homage to him. If y'all know, put his name in the comments. Flight Boss, bitch. Y'all, that's what he says. I guess his name is Flight Boss. I don't think that's his handle on YouTube. But anyway, y'all, shout out to him. He would say that. So mind you that this Ace of Cups, them wanting to slow down this process of this awakening, but they can't. They can no longer be in that master position over Pinocchio. Don't get me started trying to recall the names of certain characters, because you know that's not even me, because we will be here all day. All right, y'all, let's get into the message here. But that's the bottom of the deck energy. So that was a period, Pooh, with that Ace of Swords reverse, because they know what time it is. I mean, I'm talking about you feeling like you're in a world all by yourself right now. If you're up to tier or up to par with this energy, that's what it's feeling like for you. You now have a back turn to everybody you once put on a pedestal. And now you're questioning, why, how did I even allow myself to put these people on a pedestal? How? Because your blind eyes are now open. You can see right through the BS. And truth be told, the red flags were always there. You just chose not to acknowledge them, just based on loyalty or caring, compassion, love, you lowering your standards for other people, or you being in denial about what it is that you were receiving, you know, that kind of stuff. So that's what's going on here, y'all. Yeah. I'm being told to say again, if you know, you know. Like, this is the kind of stuff that cannot be explained, and yet it does not have to be justified, meaning you don't owe anybody an explanation on why it is that you feel the way you feel, why you're taking the stance now in your life that you're taking, why it is that you're blocking everybody, why it is that you're not returning phone calls. You don't owe anybody an explanation. Truth be told, believe it or not, they're the ones going through judgment. So there might even be an uptick in them trying to include you, whereas once upon a time they secluded you. Now they want to include you. Why is that so? Is that a coincidence? No, it's not. It's not. Judgment is upon them. And you have a clear eye view of what the hell is going on. You do. Now, if you're doubting that, then I want you to just sit back and listen to the remainder of this message to see where it is that you're headed, because there's a good percent of us, maybe 10% of us, that are already here. And we're secure and we're sure-footed in our foundation of knowing what the hell this even is, because we're living it. And it's happening now. Like right now. All right, y'all. Excuse me. So I'm going to jump and see what's in between these two different stacks of cards. I got one stack that's face up. I recall the sound it made when they hit the table. And then I have these set of cards that are face down. But let's see what's in the middle that's also face down. I'm going to turn it over. We have the Sun card. That's a beautiful card to see. Looks like the sun is rising. It's excuse me. Excuse me. I was so excited to say the sun is rising for someone and is setting for someone else, or somebody's else's. Like a lot of people, the sun is setting. Remember, once you were secluded, now they want to include you. Why is that? Because the sun's setting on their side of the street and it's rising for you, of course. There's no coincidences here, y'all. None. All right. I feel like the sunset possibly is here, this energy. And I'm only saying that, I'm being biased. And I ask that my ego be removed, as always, before each reading commences. But I mean, I feel like with confidence, I can say that the sun is setting on this character right here. Because yes, it is a Knight of Wands on the side. And yes, we recognize it for what it is, because it's plain to see. It's plain to see. We talked about that clear eye view, right? Once being in denial about certain people that played certain positions in our lives, but not anymore. I'm hearing the word seclusion. You probably, or Holy Spirit secluded you or took you to a place of seclusion. We're talking hermit energy. I would even expect the hermit energy to be here in this stack. I would expect it to be, but the energy is here, y'all. We're talking about hermit mode energy, introspect, pulling yourself back or being pulled away from certain situations, places, people, things by the Holy Spirit. So you could go into seclusion and see what really is going on here. Maybe once being blinded, and then that's when you had your spiritual eyes open while you were in seclusion. But that's the whole point of hermit energy. All right, let's talk about this loser, or these people that are losing, because this is about to get really dark, because they won't be able to see when the sun goes down, right? Even there's an I almost said element. Elements came up with the elemental in the channeling, y'all. Even with the element of the sun, I heard falling, y'all. The sun falling. What happens when the sun falls? That means the sun is never to rise again. Is that the reference? Wow. I was about to get into some moon energy, but that came up. But that means total, complete darkness if the sun falls, right? Fall is different. Anyway. Okay. I'm being told to put that back down. Sorry, y'all. I had to clear that drainage. Spirit, what's happening here? Where are you leading me? I heard the word connect, and then I heard disconnect. You know, there's an energy over family here. Family is very, very much of a reference. I'm being shown Pinocchio with the strings and the long nose, and then the puppeteer master energy. I'm being shown that. So I'm asking, like, well, who is Pinocchio in this energy? But if you think about it, Pinocchio was an innocent bystander. Pinocchio didn't ask for any of that. Pinocchio was brought to life. Pinocchio is a piece of wood that had a whole personality and a spirit attached to it, right? If we really break that down. So I'm being asked even, who's the Pinocchio in your life? Who's the Pinocchio that's in your life? We're talking about qualities. Qualities include, because I was about to be given a list. The first one on the list was innocence. But then we have to keep in mind the protruding nose of Pinocchio, which would indicate a liar, right? That's even, they have emojis with a long nose. You put that in front of somebody, they're going to automatically know, oh, that must indicate somebody's lying. So we're talking about, I'm hearing independence, inheritance. I'm getting words with I's, y'all, with the letter I. Wow. All right, innocence is number one on this list, though. So I'm being asked to consider who is the one who plays innocent. And I'm being shown a bullseye, the bullseye emoji. I'm being shown that bullseye because it was all an illusion, because I'm considering the emoji being like a cartoony effect. It was an illusion. This is deeper than some of you all might be with an energy, especially with that Knight of Wands out here, possibly somebody you laid down with, had intercourse with, who was in and out of your life, who was a philanderer, who lied, who cheated, who stole. That would indicate a Knight of Wands energy, right? That's not who we're talking about. We're talking about somebody you held near and dear. I said you put people on a pedestal once upon a time, but we were also talking about the reference of people of innocence, aka you would never suspect. That's the energy, y'all. So you're going to have to process this one accordingly. That's the energy, y'all. What would the Sun card indicate here? I'm hearing unions, families, celebrations, gift giving, excitement, opportunities. I'm getting all of this with the sun card. The sun is falling is what we heard in someone's life, and it's rising in someone else's. But we know who that is and what that is. It's right here. I already know. All right, y'all. Now we can go ahead and get into this because I was told to put that down for a reason, and we know now. So let's go, y'all. So I feel like that's to keep in mind that yes, we know who it looks like, sounds like, feels like, smells like, because it's expected from them. But that's not who this is. It could be, but it's like the bullseye, the target, the elemental energy of people believing and what they're being forced to believe and then not to believe. Like, don't believe that was the channel energy, even though you have proof. Ace of Cups falling out on the floor. The powers that be not wanting this awakening, or now I'm being told awareness, which is also indicative of this Ace of Cups. Spiritual enlightenment. Yeah, they don't want that. But let's see what's going on with this. These cards fell out on the side up here, out of the frame, so they really want to be forgot about. Because I had to slide them down to make sure that y'all saw them, but they really was like, like, can y'all just not talk about us and just keep going with what you're doing? Because this person's telling me we're already having a hard enough time. Yeah, because the sun is falling. Ooh, so that's giving me, okay, so with the illusion, that's like a fake sun energy. Like they had a fake light on them. That's the reference, y'all. Because I was being shown a star card, but I'm like, but we're talking about the sun card is what I'm telling myself as a reader. So what's the difference is what I was asking, and that's when I was told that sun, that illusion was fake. It's falling though. Because I guess it had like a life stance. It wouldn't be forever because it's not like a natural sort of element. Wow. I know that's a lot to process, even for me, because it's like I want to go back and break all of that down, but I'm like, man, let me just keep going. If you got it, you got it. So that's being said again. If you know, you know. That's the energy, y'all. If you know, you know. Because I'm not here to convince you. It's like you have to come to terms with this yourself, but that's been the holdup. That's why these fell out on the floor. Ace of Cups, Eight of Wands reverse. That's been the holdup, this awakening where you are. I said there's probably only 10% of us going through this right now. So there are some that are coming into this possibly. And that's why I said just, keep your seat and just listen to the remainder of the message, because that means it's upon you. The energy is upon you. But perhaps you just need a little bit more nudging, like, yeah, this applies to you too, sort of thing, she's not talking to me, but you're already here in the room. So obviously, you know that you've been invited to this message, right? So it must have something to do with you. So this is like, wake up, wake up. They don't want you to. They don't want you to. Ace of Swords reverse, bottom of the deck. Oh, my goodness. All right, here we go, y'all. Here we go. We're going to find out why the sun, this fake illusion, or the illusion, it wasn't fake, it was an illusion. The sun was fake of the illusion. It's falling. I can't even say it's a moon coming because the sun's falling. So, you would think that, well, they'll be able to move throughout the, the moonlight, right? They can still see. It's not total darkness. No, we heard the sun is falling. Like never any more existence of daylight in their lives. Because the sun was fake. That was the illusion. That was the illusion. All right. We got it. Thank you, Spirit. Behind the Knight of Wands, I'm just filling out the energy because they're on the side. We have the King of Cups. So here's the manipulation. Here's the, oh my God. You know what? This is a powerhouse. I'm going to tell you why. Because this, first of all, this is the last person you would suspect to come up against you to try to destroy you. This is the last person you would suspect. And this is why. because they're a powerhouse in their own right. It's because it's your word against theirs, and who's going to believe you? That's what's really going on here. So it's like a territory that you dare to step inside of because this person has all this illusion surrounding them, but the sun is falling. So I would say this would be your ample time to stand into your power before that sun falls, because at least while the sun's still out, they can see you, they can hear you, they can feel you, they can understand where you're coming from. And they're on the side as well. But that's like when that sun falls, then this King of Cups becomes in the reverse. And there's no consoling them. There's no telling them that, we're good. You go your way, I'll go mine. They're not going to be in a position to understand that and receive that once they fall in the reverse. Right now, you got ample time, opportunity to go ahead and let them know how you really feel. You really do. So y'all, this could be speaking of something that has been torturing you for the last 30, 40, 50, 20 years of your life. That's the energy. We have the 8 of Wands. I'm sorry, the 10. Why did I say 8? Oh, because the 8 is here, but that ties in somehow. Something was meant to slow you up, to keep you from doing this. This is completion, 10 of Wands. They don't want you to say, do, acknowledge, put them in some sort of position to where they have to defend themselves. But 10 years ago, they were in a position to say nobody will never believe you. They probably would still utter that sort of energy or something like that out of their mouths if you speak up for your truth and say what it is that you need to say, however you had been offended, however many years ago. But they're on the side. They're weakening. But still, they acknowledge that you still could win this. You still could pull this off. And you will. You will. So that explains to me as a reader why I'm speaking to two different groups here. I have the group of the 10% of us who acknowledge this. We're already here. We're just getting direct course, direction, entry of how to do this thing. But those of you who have not 100% acknowledged this way and say, I'm going to stand up sure-footed in what it is that I'm being told and guided to do, of this person who offended me once upon a time and how I need to set the record straight, you're not there yet. But it's there. The energy is there for you. But you have to walk into that understanding that this is really what it is. That person, yes, them. They're the ones responsible for this, all of this. Whatever all of this is, I'm looking at the 10 of Wands, all of this, because you're being brought to a completion. You're being brought to the finish line to go ahead and settle this, but it's on the side. All of these are on the side. So it's to be determined. But it's on you. You know it is. I don't have to tell you that, but you're still here, so. All right. Behind the 10 of Wands, the 3 of Pentacles. They need your help, but they're going to flip it on you as if you need their help. So this is a flipping of an energy. They're going to flip something on you. And I'm hearing to be prepared. But I feel like the flipping has to do with power and control with these pentacles here. They wanted to be the ones responsible or in charge of something here. Even as I draw a triangle, it's like an open-ended triangle. Like the bottom is open when I'm doing this. I'm not drawing the line to close the triangle. There's something here that made them superior. There's a superiority complex in this King of Cups here, this energy. This could be two different people. But I said that, you can go ahead and say, yeah, that I know who you're talking about. But no, there's somebody here that you're not acknowledging. Even though all the bull's eyes are pointing at a certain individual, you're not acknowledging, or yet you are. But there's still something that needs to be done and completed with this 10 of Wands before this sun falls. Not goes down, but the sun falls on these people. So if this is you speaking up saying, wow, you really tried to disguise yourself as somebody who was helpful to me, but yet you were the one taken from me all this time. Yeah, that's the energy. That's the energy. And that's what you say to them. Yeah. Behind that, we have the Three of Swords. Very hurtful, very painful to have to acknowledge that, yeah, they were the ones the whole entire time. Yeah. It wouldn't be easy to do, but that's why you avoided it. Because this was the last person you would suspect. The very last person you would suspect. But they're processing, they're going through this already. Because we've already acknowledged if the sun is if the sun is, I keep being told to say falling, not setting, but falling. If the sun is falling, then it's rising for someone else, which would be you and I, collective. Divine collective. That would be us. So they're being dealt with. Behind the Three of Swords, we have the Queen of Swords. I immediately heard somebody taking their power back, but I also got a backing energy. Like this Queen of Swords is possibly backing something here. So that means that they're also a part of this equation somehow. This Queen of Swords was also, I'm hearing like a contender. So someone else going against you in a Queen of Swords energy, but this is the one who does not like to take no for an answer. So if this King of Cups was responsible for carrying out things against you, that means this Queen of Swords was not too far behind. I'm hearing the power of 3. No wonder I was drawing that triangle, y'all, over that 3 of Pentacles. But it wasn't a closure. I was just doing this. And that was brought to my attention that I was even doing that, and then had to understand that that was for a reason. So that King of Cups, this Knight of Wands, did not act alone. Y'all, a 3 of Swords? We talking about 3 individuals. You possibly have named 2, but it's one that has not been named. Right. You put it together. I'm sure you already have. Here's your confirmation. Behind the Queen. Ooh. The Tower. Told y'all the sun is falling. Not setting, it's falling. I'm not... You need Holy Spirit tell us more. I'm not even gonna say I. It ain't me. I move through Creator, Holy Spirit, Source, God, Jesus. I move through their being, the omnipotent one. I move through their being. Here it is. I heard judgment. All right. So here's where who is the sun rising for? That is not even a question at this point. Let me turn these cards over. Look, I knew the 10 of Swords would be here. I just didn't know what position. So we're talking about a 10 of Swords reverse, and we're talking about a 5 of Pentacles. So this 10 of Swords, I heard who had it the worst. Who had it the worst? Yeah. I'm being shown Pinocchio again, y'all. I don't know the ending of Pinocchio or the moral of the story. I don't, because I know Disney goes deep with the messages, but that's another thing in itself. But I feel like that's why it was included in the channeled energy. Like things we grew up understanding and went along with it, but yet only to come into our adulthood and say, wow, Disney was on one. Wow, SpongeBob was on one. Wow, The Simpsons was on one. Like this is the discovery well into your spirituality and opening those spiritual eyes where you once were blinded. That's the energy, y'all, from the get-go. Spirit, tell me about this 10 of Swords, because I'm hearing hibernation, but we were talking about hermit energy and the sun rising on this energy. So who had it the worst, collective? Should we compare notes? 10 of Swords reverse. This is a worst case scenario. I said they tried to unalive you, but to come to that understanding that they were the ones responsible for all of this. Yeah, that's the eye opener, literally. That's the spiritual eye opening moment right there. Like, man, just to confirm that with your team, your spiritual team, Holy Spirit, they've been putting it right in front of you all this time. This message may be confirmation. It could be something to move your stamina up just a little bit more for you to stand sure-footed in your beliefs. Because here it is. Out in the cold, 5 of Pentacles. Who had it worse here? Yeah, this is who went into hermit mode, which was what we understood before the cards even turned over. The sun's falling for one, and the sun's rising for the other. Yeah. All right, y'all. I mean, I feel like this can be broken down in so many different ways, but it's one of those things, again, if you know, you know. So I hope this helps.